Hello everybody. I gotta be kind of quiet because everyone's asleep. I just got home from work and it's one of those late nights at work. Big Spring Contest starts March 1st. I think that's Friday. I can look at the cranky calendar and see. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Friday at midnight. And I still haven't quite made my mind up what I want to do. So I'm making a YouTube video, seeing if any of you can sway me one direction or another. I got a list of possibilities at my feet. Okay? I left one out, but it's not really it's a far reach as a possibility. Let's leave it at that. So let's go through these in no particular order. Okay? What I'm going to do is start with the Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea Flying Sub. I know what this kit is. I know that I'm biting off a pretty big chunk here. There isn't a lot of parts, but it has to be done correctly. And it's a glossy paint job, just like a car. You know, shiny like the box lid is. Okay? I'm getting less and less afraid of those because I've done more experimenting. Okay? This is the Gremlin. And if we can catch her in the light, just click. The paint's 100% cured up. I'm having problems catching it in the light. I can see it. There we go. You guys can see it right there. She's got a good gloss shine to her. There's some dirt in the paint, which I'm not happy about. I got to learn how to control my paint, my dirt. And there's the hood. The hood has got a nice gloss to it as well. So I'm not afraid of glossy paint. Yeah, my voice is off a little too. You guys can hear that. I'm no longer afraid of glossy paint. And I've also discovered something as to why I keep getting orange peel. It's behind me. Yes, my whole room is disarray. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's see if I can find them. More spoons. Right. That one's not so much. I don't want a red one. I want a green one. There we go. That's a good green one. And a couple of red ones real quick. What you see on this side are spoons. One side is primered, one side is not. And if you look at the back side of it, you can see that the orange peel exists on the sides with the primer. Now, this was All-Clad's primer, so it actually did a pretty good job. There's a whole video series on this. This is Vallejo's primer, which orange peeled just a little bit. This is the most striking one. Okay? That side is, what was that? That's Rust-Oleum's Ultra Primer. Look how bad that orange peeled on one side, and the other side is just glossied up. Actually, no. That's a bad paint job on the green part. Let's see if I can find a better one. This is Rust-Oleum. There you go. That side's primered, this side's not. Can you guys see the difference in that? You can see it on that side where the primer is. There's a huge difference where there's primer and where there's not. Okay? And that was true on 4 or 5 different primers. Again, those videos are coming up soon. I'm not worried about gloss paint. I got it worked out. I'm worried about keeping the dirt out when I'm painting. That's the part I haven't fixed yet. But I got the glossy paint down. So the Flying Sub would be fun. It's a lighting fit. It's a festive lighting. I would have to custom design a few lighting circuits, but it's not that bad. Up next, some people would like to see, I've talked to some friends, they're like, yeah, you ought to build that one. Minions. I actually have some Minion figures. They are resin. Okay? Just going to show you part of one so you know they're not like plastic toys. There's part of one and part of the feet. Okay? And the eyes. That's actually a model kit. It comes with 3 minions. I could build a diorama, then building some sort of prototype weapon. Because one of the categories in the contest is prototypes. So this would get 2 categories out of it. A diorama for what I'm building, and it could go in the prototype category. Okay. Up next, I kind of get the idea where this one's going to go before I even post them. We have the Fine Molds 1/48 scale X-Wing. I gave away the 1/72 in the contest and kept the 1/48 because I was like, why do I have two? Didn't know. I was just in a mad collecting phase at that time. I don't collect so much anymore. So we got this guy here. This could be lit. It's a decent size. It's a nice scale. There are a few inaccuracies with the kit, but I'm not a rivet counter. Keep that in mind. So I might just ignore the inaccuracies and just build it and enjoy myself building it and try to build the best X-Wing I can from the box stock. Okay? Now, this is a three-parter. We got the X-Wing. The other one I got is the Fine Molds 1/48 TIE Fighter. The X-Wing and the TIE Fighter would be two separate entries in the sci-fi. I'd start with the TIE Fighter, then build the X-Wing. Or I'd start with the X-Wing and build the TIE Fighter, I'm not sure. But once I got them built, if I still had time left, I would make a diorama of them flying down the trench with the TIE Fighter chasing the X-Wing. I know I don't have Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. I do, but it's an MPC Ertl kit with the pooping Darth Vader figure. And I said poop. I don't think I'm supposed to say that word more than twice and still be, you know, okay for television. But I could do that with the two of them in like the trench on the Death Star. So I could get 3 entries out of 2 kits. If time permits, because this is a 3-month build and I'm working during those 3 months. Plus there's some other things going on. We're about to list the house for sale and get a house custom built. So that would be disruptive. Okay? Since we're hiring movers, it won't be too disruptive. We just have to pack, and I have to do a little bit of packing every day. That won't be so bad as long as we do it a little every day. Here's the last choice. This is heavy because it's big. It's this thing. I don't know if any of you recognize it. It's Captain Cardboard's Studio Scale X-Wing. It's a resin kit. If I build this, this is probably how I'm going to get done during the contest. I have seriously evaluated this kit. I know I can build it in the 3 months. I know I can build that Fine Molds X-Wing in the 3 months. The TIE Fighter, I should be able to build the 2 of them in the 3 months. Will I get a diorama done? Don't know. The Minions, definitely can do that in the 3 months. It would be scratch building the diorama. They'd be building some sort of device that just comes out of my head as I'm building it. That I know I could do in the 3 months. The Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, maybe. Okay, if you don't know what the Captain Cardboard X-Wing is, I think I put a review of this kit up on my videos a long time ago. Steve Neal is building one right now. He just laid out the parts in the last video. Model Man Tom has reviewed this kit as well. Okay, so I know people have it. Just, I have very rarely seen one being built on YouTube. And it's a very nice kit. There's a few problems with seams on it. Seams are an issue with resin models. They just are. Okay? For example, now, some of you have seen this on Facebook. This thing. Okay, the videos are not caught up with where I am because I've lost some of the videos and I'm trying to find them. Oh, I know what folder they're in. I just don't know what date they're under. Okay? This thing's gotten its green coat. I just need to touch it up a little bit here and there, and then it gets its dark green coat. There's some dark green lines, panel lines that run along here and run down along here and along the edges here. This paint isn't 100% cured, so I'm not messing with it too much. Okay? I'm using Vallejo paints for the first time. They paint on very nicely, by the way, with the airbrush. Very, very smooth with the airbrush. They're very nice to do. This thing, the seam right up here, this part up here, was an 1/8 inch smaller than the part down here. Okay? I'm used to bad seams on resin kits. Here's one right here. I mean, this thing had horrible, horrible seams. Up here in the front, this part didn't match this part at all. This part was completely bubbled. These two parts were about 1 inch longer than they were supposed to be. So this was just a horrible, horrible kit, and it's almost done. And only one seam is still visible, and it's right there. And I got a little bit of paint overspray right there. I got to sand down. That's what I mean by I'm almost done with the green paint. This thing was just a horrible, nasty kit to build. And she's almost done. I should have this done by Saturday. No lying, it's got about 2 hours worth of work left in it. So this will be done by Saturday and ready to go. Okay, I got to paint the guns. I'm going to paint them steel. I got to paint the dark spot and decal it and clear coat it. She's done. The base is 99% done. I got to find the support rod that goes in the bottom of this. Once I've done that, I got to glue 2 boards together and the base is finally done. So I'm not afraid of bad resin kits. And I've looked at that X-Wing. It is nowhere near a bad resin kit. There's very little wrong with that X-Wing. There's some really bad seams on the back. Lighting it'll be a challenge because it's a heavy kit. Getting a stand to support it's going to be part of the challenge. And running the wires through the wings when they're solid resin is going to be part of the challenge. But the wings go together well. The guy that designed the kit thought about lighting it as he did it. So there is some accommodation for lighting. The cockpit tub is completely separate from the rest of the kit, so it's going to be real easy to run fibers through that cockpit tub. You can paint it up and then run the fibers, which makes it really nice and easy. There's room inside that body for like 30 or 40 LEDs, so I could completely different color the switches on it. Whereas the plastic X-Wing, this thing has like 75 to 100 parts. It's a small monster of a kit. Okay, the wings actually will fold open and closed on this one. It's designed to. Whereas the studio scale one, they're either open or they're closed. There's no choice once you build it. But this guy's got a lot of parts to him. Far more than that resin kit. But that's how resin kits are. Resin kits don't have a lot of parts. The difficulty comes in putting them together. Plastic kits don't have a lot of difficulty putting together, but they got a lot of parts. Okay. There were 2 other options I thought about for a little while. One is some Maquet kit. I got a lot of Maquet kits and I've yet to build one. And it isn't because I don't have an interest in it. It's just that it takes me a year, almost 6 months to build a model because of work and other commitments. So I haven't gotten to them. I mean, I've got a lifetime of model kits in this building, in this room. There's no way around that. I've got so many model kits. I could, at my current build rate, it would literally take me till I'm 90 to finish them. So that's why I've slowed down buying new ones. I only buy new ones if they're absolutely, to me, must-haves. Other than that, I'm not buying anything new. Okay? So, here's the other option. I got to get up and get it. When I first started thinking about the contest, I thought about building this kit. And then I changed my mind when I opened the box and took a good hard look. The super heavy tank. Now this thing is 1/35 scale. Alright? It's a Dragon Models kit, which some of you already know what that means. Very nicely detailed, very nice kit. The problem is it has almost 1,600 parts. Yeah, you heard me right. Almost 1,600 parts. I counted them. So I don't know if I'll build this thing. It kind of turned me off when I saw the number of parts. Not with the contest deadline not with the moving the house. That's what worried me. Okay? But you start looking at it, it's not a small tank. It is a prototype. They only built the prototype. They built 2 of them, and that was all they built. Okay? There's a body at 1/35. So it's a very large tank. Model kit. It comes with 8 treads. Okay? And this is an example of what I was talking about. There are bags of these things. Okay? And there's just sprue after sprue of tiny little parts. The whole suspension on the tank is here. I think Dragon went out and got the blueprints and basically made a model kit from the blueprints. Because every single part on that tank is probably reproduced here. All of them except for the nuts and bolts. So this would be a bolt counter's dream, I think. Actually, no, because it probably has like 5 bolts out of place. And the other one, there's a last one that's not here. A 1/72 Hind. Norm, I'm not going to try to say his last name because I'll mess it up. He knows who he is. He knows who he is, and a lot of you will know who he is. He reviewed the Zetas models, 1/72 Hind. I have the Hind A and the Hind E. I have the Big Ed set for the Hind E, and I've thought about building that for the last 2 contests. It is just like that super heavy tank. It's like 300 parts in a model that comes out this big. Crazy detailed kit. Every little bit of it's there. So these are the things I've thought about. The crazy details, I'm not sure I want to build. Not because I can't do it. I know I can. I'm just afraid with time constraints. So you guys tell me what you think. Most of what I showed you at the early part, the Flying Sub, the Star Wars diorama, the Studio Scale X-Wing, and the Minions, I know I can build. I just want to see what you guys have to say and what you think and what you would like to see. Okay? I do have a lot of other kits here. And I could build something else, but these are what are getting me interested at the moment, to be honest with you. Just looking around the room, you know, I got a whole bunch of Star Trek stuff. A lot of Star Trek stuff. I've got all the Enterprises, A, B, C, D, E, and the original. Some of them 1/350, some of them not. I've got the NX. I have the Excelsior. Yeah, I can see both Excelsior and the B right here. You know, and I have the 3-piece Adversary sets and all sorts of stuff, Star Trek. I have about every Star Trek model they made. Battlestar Galactica, I do have the Galactica. I thought about building that for the contest. That probably wouldn't take very long. The original Galactica. I also have the Thunder Fighter. So those are things to think about too. Just let me know in the comments what you would like to see me build. Try to stick with the main ones first. Okay? This has been long enough. I'm rambling a bit. I need to get to bed. This throat's bad because I've been sick. It's clearing up slowly. But my normal voice is only a very loud voice, so I'm not going to scream at you guys. Anyhow, I'm going to bed. I will see you guys when the next video comes up. The Saturday afternoon Model Club videos will be pretty much at least once a week. I should be able to get them up once a week. That's kind of on hold because my model building room's been torn apart. There's no table in here anymore. So we can't get together and build here. We could downstairs, but that's just a mess, trekking up and down the stairs all the time. I'm working on a solution to that, and I should have a solution figured out by next week. So it'll resume pretty soon. Don't worry, I got videos in the can. The videos you guys are watching are for September. So I can still post those once a week for a while. And you saw where the Gremlin and the Brachiri is. The real grade Zaku, I stalled out on the decals after doing 6 hours of decal work on it. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to start pulling it out and doing 2 or 3 decals every once in a while. And that's the only way to finish something like that. You're just beating yourself against the wall if you spend 12 hours in a row putting decals on. Sorry about to sneeze. Sorry. Putting decals on the size of a pinhead. Because that's what I'm doing with that kit. And after a while, you just get tired of it. So I'm going to pull it out every once in a while and just do a little bit here and there until it's done. I want to see what all those decals look like on it. I'm halfway through with the decals on it. Okay, just to show you. Here he is right here. Okay, we're not on autofocus. This camera is kind of bad that way. But he's got an awful lot of decals on him, and you can see the little decals stuck everywhere on it. I could probably stop it here, and no one would know. To be honest with you, I didn't finish it. I want to finish him. I also have a diorama in mind with him. And he's a simple little diorama, so it's not really a big deal. So this is kind of a channel update. What should I build? I'll talk to you guys later.